Everybody, welcome back to the Sinking City. I am Bluestar2, and I have to confess, I'm finding it a little difficult to get into this game. Maybe things will pick up, but I really hope so. I mean, I did spend like 50 bucks on this. So where am I going now? Man, this place is massive. Okay, maybe not that massive. I could have come up with a better lie, in regards to what happened to his son. Yeah, Thogmortons. I mean, he's still gonna know who to blame. So he could target Lewis's family. For as long as they'll be around. Those of you who do not know, Innsmouthers, well, they're technically immortal, but their bodies will not tolerate life on land for very long, relatively speaking. Eventually they'll be called to the water. They'll lose their ability to close their eyes. Their skin will dry out. Unpleasantness abounds. Uh-oh. Okay. Maybe I should turn around. I think I left myself back there. Nani? Whoa. Oh dear Lord. Oh, let's see. Robert Thorogmorton funded an expedition to discover the origin. Yeah, okay, we read that already. Stuck in your investigation? Check your mind palace. Buildings in Oakmont do not have numbers. The locals know their city and don't care about a newcomer's convenience. Oakmont is steeped in tradition. Anybody looking or acting out of place will instantly be pegged as a newcomer. Yeah, we read that one. Knowledge is power, yada yada yada. Oakmouth keeps its mouth. Oakmount keeps its mouth shut. Dayware. Ah. My diary, part 1. I don't know what sank the USS Cyclops. I'll remember the screams and metal creaking, water filling the deck, and my headache, the worst I've ever had. I found myself among the floating seaweed, drowning. A nearby piece of boat helped me survive, and reached the shore of a small island. They found me on it later, starving, half mad, and babbling about the ancient ruins and their denizens. The officials said none of what I thought seen was real, but my memories are true. My strange powers gained after that ordeal prove it. I found something horrible on that island, something old and dark and slithering, and it still haunts me.
Crew of the Cyclops. Semper Fortis, brothers.
All that we see or seem is just a dream within a dream.
Never again, they say.
Referring to the war, I believe. What a lie that was. Oh my. I like better not having to carry that stuff around. La don on them.
No matter how much of this I chug down, the visions always return.
Alright, what's it say? Registered in 1898. Something drum, I can't see because of that eye symbol. Each 6 fluid ounces. Tincture of opium. Soothes all ailments. Add to any spirits or tonic. Delfish and Sons Pharmacy Company. Mr. Reed, you were the rare example of a man who treated one of my kind humanly, and I feel I have to repay the debt to you. Take this as a friendly piece of advice. Run. Save your life and leave this dry city to the depths. Don't dig into its secrets, for they are not worth it. There's nothing good left here. I believe you can find a way to escape. Please heed my words. Lewis Flynn. Oh, that's right neighborly of him. Mr. Reed, it seems that you overexerted yourself while conducting the investigation of Mr. Thorgmorton. Forgive me for the audacity, but I brought you to the Devil's Wreath while you were unconscious. Please take more care of yourself in the future. I won't be there for you every time.
Makes this place feel more like home. I miss Boston already.
How did that get there? I sure as hell didn't put it there. Oh, this looks good. The nightmares. I boarded up the windows and locked the door. They're just men, the Yellow King's gang. They can't get here now. Now there's only me and these nightmares a little longer. I'll figure them out. The Yellow King. Aster. I think it's brother or cousin to Cthulhu? Rival? Air elemental? Mr. Archer, I've seen you dragging things into your room. Mind the floors, I'll make you pay for any scratches you leave.
The door won't budge.
Did I take the knife? I mean, I would. Stealing, stealing, da 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 da. Too many coincidences. So the lighthouse is out. Several ships have gotten lost at sea. Some are now decorating the city's beaches. That's one thing. But now there's an enterprising fellow at the city port hiring salvagers to recover ships. He's turning a tidy profit from selling them. Can't be coincidence. Need to look into it. Now, if only the city wasn't so impossible to navigate. The hell? It looks like a Thorgmorton. I'd like to know more about the Thorgmortons. I'm not familiar with an apish countenance like that in Lovecraft lore. Other than this one story, I can't remember what it was called.
Finally, you're awake. Gotta tell you though, mister, you wanna stay on here? You stop making all that noise.
Noise? What noise are you talking about?
I expect my guests to be respectable. Moans, chanting, all that kind of thing. It stops, all right?
Okay.
Yeah, sorry about that. I don't really remember what happened, but I'll do my best.
Yeah? Well, next time it happens, you end up sleeping under the bridge like the other newcomers.
You're not exactly friendly with your guests. Are we the ones keeping you in business?
Hey, I'm not paying.
All these newcomers after the flood, they're stark raving mad.
What do you mean?
You can't imagine the crazy notes and books I find after they move out. Only thing they're good for is lighting the kitchen stove.
Can I have a look?
I knew it. I tell you, no one sane would be interested. And you want to take a look? Well, fine. Take what you wish.
Thank you very much. Oh, wow. Packing notes. The hotel owner allowed me to look through the weird notes he found in the rooms of the disappeared newcomers. Among them I found several pages from the diary of a man describing his life in Oakmont. He suffered from visions and marked the places where they happened. Was he trying to avoid them? This city, no matter how badly the flood damaged it, has an unnatural appeal. I can't stop myself from walking, even if it means being struck by further visions. I went to the eastern part of Salvation Harbor, near the cross of Fitzocallan Street. Excuse me. An old church road. It came. The feeling of loneliness and fear was immense. I was a woman locked in a room, infected and slowly rotting. My body turned into something. It itched badly in my face. I had to hold the skin with my hands to prevent it from growing until I suffocated. I ended up sitting on the road crying until some Innsmouther kicked me and ordered me away. The visions are testing me, playing with my mind. My old forgotten fears come to life. When I was small, I was afraid to stay alone. I thought my parents would leave and never come back. Today I went to the eastern streets of Coverside and the visions came on that corner of St. Elmo Lane and Kingsport Street. I felt I was alone, forgotten in a locked room, hungry and frightened. It was so scary to stay inside, but everything was much worse behind the door. Something scratched in the corridor, and there were terrifying screams from outside. I could not run, I could not hide. I just waited for Mom to return. Mirrors, mirrors. I'm afraid someone stalks me. It started when I visited Western Advent and had a vision at the intersection of Purity Road and Oak Street. I saw mirrors full of reflections and someone trapped, trying in vain to escape. His expression of fear and panic shook me deeply. After that, a very tall and skinny man started following me in the distance. What troubles me is that I see him in the reflections, but I have never caught a straight view of this stalker. I'm sure the police will mock me if I come asking for protection. Seems it is time to buy a good, trustworthy gun and start the practice. Disgusting exhalation. Exhalation? Is that it? No matter how different my visions may be, they're always frightening. Today it was a man. He left a house in southern Old Grove on Warwick Street, somewhere between Teesside and Hillside Street. Our eyes met and I briefly felt the burning exhalation, a wild torrent of emotions. I saw him among the monstrosities, touching them, embracing, kissing. The visions were so intense I bent in two and threw up all my breakfast. He walked past me saying something like, "Curse newcomers," and I pray he wouldn't stop to help. Even now, when I close my eyes, I see the creatures around this man. Call of the ocean. Tonight, the air forced me to leave the hotel. The putrid smell of rotting seaweed and fish made it hard to breathe. I remembered a huge apple tree and thought it might be nicer there. Moreover, I was afraid that the hotel owner would see my seizures. The visions occurred when I was a few blocks from the apple tree, walking E. Brown Street in Central Hills. I felt like I was drowning. I ran forward. When I passed the street of St. Michael's Church, I felt the water surrounding me, pressing, calling. I needed all my will to fight the desire to go to the mire and sink into the depths. Static in the ears. I was walking the Lombard Street in eastern Reed Heights when it happened again. It's not just a growing vision, but a noise. Hissing radio static growing louder and louder. Voices from afar were lost in it, crying desperately. I tried not to show how bad it was. I was afraid to reveal it to the locals. The images came after I passed Bullock Street towards Hellog Street. The hissing fled in my mind, and I saw a man surrounded by radios talking to them. He was dying, I felt it. And when it happened, the vision was gone. I'm afraid of the bathroom and the kitchen sink. Each time I want to wash my hands, I tremble in fear. What if they'll talk to me? This began after a vision in eastern Reed Heights near the crossing of Iman Ward and Baker Street. I saw a man naked and covered in blood, in a room without doors or windows. Surrounded by the dark holes of the pipes, he was cutting himself piece by piece and feeding those copper mouths. They were whispering with voices so sweet and promising, but full of hunger and hatred. How could he believe them? Could he even escape? Had they noticed me? From behind. I couldn't help but turn around at any noise after what I saw yesterday. I walked down Murdoch Avenue, excuse me, in Western at near Oak Street when I was hit with an excruciating migraine. My nose started to bleed and the visions came. I saw one man writing a letter and another about to strike him from behind. Somehow I was both the spectator and the sitting man, but no matter how I cried out warnings or tried to move, it didn't work. It seems I lost consciousness when the killer hit the man's head. It took me several hours to get back to the hotel afterwards. Terrible fetus. After this vision, I shake in fear at the sound of a child's cry. It happened in Western Reed Heights on Washington Street. I passed. Excuse me. God, when I talk too much, I yawn. I'm sorry. See, I was heading towards Oak Street, but I saw it. The thing was running so fast I didn't even understand what it was. It jumped from the window, and then the vision struck me immediately. I saw a man, a doctor, hiding in the room. He was writing something with a shaky hand and something like a last will. And then I saw the thing stalking him, a fetus on thin, pointy legs with a little face full of evil and hatred. It shrieked. I can't forget it. Innsmouther's notes. The local Innsmouthers scare me a lot. I've never seen a place so filled with so many ill people. Their faces pursue me even in visions. Recently I was in the northern part of Grimhaven Bay walking down Whisper Street. I barely made it. Excuse me again. Barely made it to Herbert Avenue when the visions came. I stood among many Innsmouthers, disguised as one of them, and listened. Their leader read the story of a captain participating in pagan rites, copulating with savage witches and beasts, bringing sacrifices. I still remember his name. Obed. Obed Marsh. From whence all the Innsmouthers came, I think. Lullaby Crossroad. Today I fell asleep on the street. I'm sure it's connected to my visions somehow. Before I felt the same nausea and headache as before they strike. It happened in Coverside near the corner of Tanner Street and Old Church Road. I felt dizzy and my mouth was full of a bittersweet taste. I saw a woman with kind eyes giving me a drink and whispering something. I immediately after that I fell asleep and spent near half the day lying in the dirt like a hobo. It's a miracle nobody stole anything from me. Very curious indeed. What do we have here? To Walter. Walter, K help you if I hear you peddling your cheap, affordable living again. I could live with you renting out beast-ridden flophouses, but you're cutting into my profit. Don't make that mistake. I know you're on the fish market, and I have dangerous people living here that I could send after you. You've been warned. Vic. Note about the hobo signs. Darren, I think I'm finally starting to figure this out. The locals use signs to mark special places that you already know. Kinda like the secret signs hobos use all over the country. What I learned is that the tradition dates back to times well before the flood. I've been able to find out the meaning of some of them. You've seen the crooked H-shaped sign on doors around town. That means that the house is inhabited. The crosshatch grid sign marks hidden caches of useful items. The V sign is for barricaded dangerous places. Good catch there, they say. Still haven't figured out the spiral-shaped sign, though. You'll have to investigate for yourself. And if you see a sign with a cross and 3 Ks, reach for the gun. K. What do we have here? What does the brackets mean? Places I should go? Places I haven't been to yet? Place with archives. I can never say archives without being reminded of this. Wait. Cyclops 2. Or is that 11? That's not a good sign. Anyway, I'm reminded of something from me childhood. I saw, the first time I saw Star Wars Episode 2, it was a bootleg copy that my friend basically pirated. And at this one part where Obi-Wan's talking to this guy, he's got like 4 arms. He's trying to locate that missing planet. At one point, the guy says, "There's things you won't find there in the archives," and he kind of like spreads his arms out and like in a gesture, and the video just freezes after that. The audio continues, but he's just there down in the archives, and it was hysterical. Or at least we found it that way. You might disagree. Should I help? Oi, oi! Infested area. Infested with what? Now you've got my attention. I hear the combat's not very good in this game, but I'm up for get out, leave now. I'm up for a little rough and tumble. Or not. If I see anything, I'm gonna try beating it to death. I love how my weapon of choice is a shovel. Oh shit. You know what? This might not have been the best idea. Yeah, I know. Do 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 do. Sorry, for some reason I have the Scrap Brain Zone music from a first Sonic the Hedgehog game stuck in my head. If you're trying to direct traffic, I don't think you'd have to worry. He's not trying to direct traffic. What do we have here? Oakmount seaweed something? Relax. Breeze out. Hey, buddy, you alright? I can never ask people if they're okay. Seems I'm now free to do whatever I so desire. Is this it? No, it is not. Here it is.
The old papers are by the door. Take them and stop bothering me already.
I think you've got me confused with someone else.
Aren't you a newcomer?
Yeah, I guess I am a newcomer. Charles Reed, private investigator. And I also need your old newspapers, the archive, to be exact.
Ah, so you're the one who cracked the Albert Throgmorton murder case. Nice work. I'm Helen Bland. Say, can you do me a favor? Give me an exclusive interview. You won't regret it. The Oakmont Chronicle is the best newspaper for miles around.
All right, I'll be sure to make some time
Miss
for you,
Bland. That can wait for another time.
See you later.
Right now, I have to call it a video. And due to the limited amount of saves I have here, I really can't continue on until, yeah. Oh boy. Anyway, call a video here. I'm the Blues 32. This is Sinking City. TTFN. Ta-ta for now.